Hey everyone, welcome to the Forever Young podcast, where we meet with anti-aging, longevity, and regen industry experts to unlock the secrets of staying forever young. This podcast is sponsored by Harper Media. If you're interested in our solutions to grow and scale your business and stand out strong against your competitors, comment growth in the comments section or visit our website at theharpermedia.com. Now, let's start the show.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another banger. We have another amazing episode, the launch of our podcast series. If this is your first time listening, my name is Robert Thomas III. I am the host of Forever Young. I'm also the CRO of a company called the Harper Media, where we help health and wellness organizations really leverage AI to scale and grow their revenue. If you are listening and you are a leader and you are in the space of trying to get started with AI, we are still doing free AI audits and assessments. So just comments the word growth or DM below, and someone from the team will reach out. So without further ado, enough about me. I want to tee up our special guest today. I think we have someone that everybody will be excited to hear from and hear about the amazing product that he's developed with his team. So without further ado, Pablo, hey man, how are you today?
Hey, Robert. Great to be here.
There we go. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. Maybe just give us, before we dive into the details about the organization and amazing product, maybe tell us a little bit more about Pablo.
Yeah, so basically, I'm an entrepreneur, I guess 15 years or so. Oh my God, it goes fast.
Yeah.
But I started with this dream of doing video games. Started making software, went into mobile. And at some point, after a bunch of projects, my sister came up and she was like, look, there's this technology that we both kind of stumbled upon. And I was having hair problems at the time. And I was like, wow, the more I looked into it, the more interesting it seemed. Yeah, short stories. I spent the last years with my sister kind of taking this technology to improve hair and trying to bring that to market. So learned a lot. It was the first time in many ways, but been really lucky to find people like experts in the fields that really helped us run this journey.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. That's good. Yeah, you've turned the issue that you were struggling with into something that, you can service a lot of people with. So yeah, give us more information about your company. Tell us a little bit more
Okay.
about the details, the products, and yeah, any information that you want to share to kind of give people just a quick overview about your organization.
Sure. So the thing I was doing before is I had this fitness app, and what's great about fitness is everybody cares about it.
Yeah.
And we had such a good growth trajectory. Like at some point we had 1 million paying customers. And after that, I was thinking, well, I don't know if I would do a new project unless it has that. And the thing is, about turning 30 something, you start to lose some hair. And I was looking at the mirror and thinking, damn, I really need to do something about this.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
my sister brought up the topic, I was like, if there's anything that's as big as fitness, it's hair loss, because we
Yeah.
don't talk about it. And it's something that affects us so much, like the way you see yourself, this image that you have. Like one day you're
Yeah.
20, you have this amazing head of hair, and at some point you start to notice, like it starts thinning a little bit and it affects you. So I was personally very affected. I was trying to cover it, and definitely it was a journey because hair loss is something that you don't usually trust, right? Like somebody tells
Yeah.
you, oh, try this, but you heard it so many times and it's hard to make that
Yeah.
work. So what I did is I went deep into the science. I started talking to scientists, to biologists, to estheticians, and I tried to understand. Because in a way, we're very advanced in the industry with rejuvenation for skin. Like we can remove wrinkles, we have so many treatments, but on hair, we're stuck with the technology we had 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we're doing at StimuSIL is we have a couple technologies that we pioneered. One has to do with pulse electromagnetic frequencies, which I have here.
Yeah.
And the other one has to do with laser. That's like a longer term project. But we're trying to bring this to people at their home and to clinicians. So that's
Gotcha.
basically our goal. We want to help everyone get better hair.
Gotcha. Amazing detail, man. And yeah, again, I'm super stoked for you to explain more about the cap and the hat and different
Uh-huh.
things. Before we do that, you kind of already teased this out. You had a fitness company. Is there any other details that you want to share with the audience for what you were doing before you started StimuSIL? Any other background knowledge or detail that maybe will help people understand a little bit more about you and how you got to where you are?
Sure thing. So I'm an engineer by training. I'm a very curious person. And I believe that, when you look at a problem, you can't just trust what somebody's trying to sell you. You have to go through it on first principles. So I always like to understand these things deeply. And biology was new to me, honestly. But it's funny because Forever Young is kind of like this song that is like my partner and my song. Like it's a relationship song because we met when he was playing, and I've always loved the theme. And I'm like, man, if there's one thing investing time and money on, it's being Forever Young.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was really
yeah.
excited to learn more and treat it a bit like an engineer, trying to reason from first principles. And yeah, that's how we did a lot of the science here.
Amazing, amazing. Maybe tell us a little bit, back on your current company that you're scaling and growing. What are some of the challenges you face while growing this current company?
So one of the challenges, obviously, any company, you're trying to make something from nothing, right? And I have this tattoo I love to, I really relate to because it says you can see it. There's a zero
Yeah, I
on
can
this side and there's
barely
a
see it.
one.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And it's this challenge, right, of you're trying to make something where there's nothing. So you have to pay people, you have to make all these expenses. I think the biggest challenge for StimuSIL is that we're trying to bring a new technology that people are not familiar with. So we need to
Yeah,
educate, we need to create it, we need to make that industrial production chain to make it possible. And yeah, that's something we've done completely. So we created all this brand, this packaging,
yeah,
but then we had to manufacture something that didn't exist before. And we do this while bringing the product to people that they never used before. So I think the biggest challenge is how do we help people understand it? Because I think once you understand a new technology,
yeah,
you're basically sold, right? Like
yeah.
if there's something that is good for you and you can trust it, then you have to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think obviously, yeah, that educating your market is, probably like the first, the foundation, right? So people, especially again, like you said, never seen something like this before, never experienced something like this before. There can be challenges. So what other outside of just educating your market, are there any other challenges that you have as far as on the sales and go to market standpoint, being that you are kind of offering this new solution? Is it more on the marketing side? Is it more on, attracting different customers or the right customers? Like any other challenges that you're facing in that space?
Well, I'd say regulatory is a big one, right? Because we're doing something that's going to go on people's bodies. And
Yeah.
fair enough, it doesn't pierce your skin and it's non-invasive, but we still have so many standards that we have to comply with. So we spent a lot of time talking to FDA, talking to the equivalents in Europe and trying to understand those standards. And you wouldn't believe it. There's like this list of things you have
Yeah.
to make.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of our energy went over the last 2 years. And I'm so happy we're done with that. We have the
Yeah.
approvals, everything's in order. The labs are like thumbs up. But that was a big journey.
Yeah. How has it what's the hardest part about maybe attracting or hiring or getting people on board from a sales and marketing standpoint? Like obviously this is something you and your
Uh-huh.
sister 100% believe in the product, but how important or what challenges have you faced to maybe find the right people, whether that's a marketing agency or a sales and marketing people on your team to kind of help and sell and go to market with this product? What has been the biggest challenges around that?
It's always, I feel like there's this journey, right? You have an idea and you start like literally in a garage. We actually
Yeah.
started in a garage in the engineering.
Yeah.
But then you have to get serious, right? And you need an amount of money that you don't have laying around. You
Yeah.
need a list of customers that are used to dealing with really big companies. So now you have to do all these big things that big companies do, but you're three guys in a garage.
Yeah.
In a Kickstarter, that works because you're making this little gadget and
Yeah.
you can put it together. But when you're doing something medical, now you're playing the big leagues. So I
Yeah.
think we really have to learn how to reach out to professional people. So we work with this big pharma company that just saw the potential. They invested in us. They invested a couple $1 million in total. And that was a big push because they brought their whole team and the team was like, look, here's what we're going to need. And they basically
Yeah.
treated us as a big partner and that helped us
Yeah.
grow.
Gotcha. And how, if you don't mind me asking, three people in a garage, where are you guys at now as far as company size?
We have 5 people internal, but what we do is we
Gotcha.
rely a lot on partners. So I would say we
Gotcha.
have 20, 30 partners. And these are people that we talk to every week, right? Like we go
Gotcha.
visit them, we have calls. They're part of the extended team. At the core, we're just 5 people.
Gotcha. And so are you, I assume that out of those 5 people, you all are kind of handling the sales and the marketing standpoint to really help. Obviously,
Yeah.
you can drive revenue through your partners. That's probably a big avenue that you guys are leveraging. But yeah, curious on the dynamics between those 5 people. I'm sure all of you are really sales and marketing. You guys are all kind of focused on that
But yeah, well, the problem is you're kind of building this car and you're driving it at the same
at the
time,
same
right?
time. Yeah.
So sometimes you're driving and it's kind of bumpy and you need to fix something while you're driving. So definitely a lot of journalists. We have great engineers. We have people who can jump from one road to the other, can jump in a plane anytime and go visit a
Yeah.
supplier. And that's been amazing because it really feels like a startup.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, let's walk us through what convinced you that PEMF
Mhm.
was worth betting your career on.
Sure. So PMF, we found it by digging into the science, and we found this amazing study from the 90s, and it had one of the best results I've ever seen. And then we started looking for everybody, and everybody disappeared. Every person in that study was impossible to find. They were unreachable. Some of them had passed. And we're like, wow, what happened to this? Like, we just wanted to ask them. And we found somebody who kind of took that science and moved it forward. And that was Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob Dennis has this incredible background. He was working for NASA, and NASA hired him to kind of have treatments for astronauts that are in zero
Yeah.
G in Spain, in space, in environments where their bodies are not acting normally. And he
Yeah.
developed PEMF to help astronauts in space for NASA. So he had all this public money. And then from that, he learned so much. He started being skeptical and he became like this big believer. And we found him. You know, he had been doing this for 20 years, again in a garage, had a big community of followers who used it for inflammation, for chronic pain. But we were like, hey, have you used it for hair? It's like, no, I never tried that. So then we
Yeah.
went with this prototype. So this is the very first prototype. We kind of took these
Ah.
coils and everything's done by hand. It's
Yeah.
so low tech.
Yeah.
But this was the first proof of concept that worked. And we gave this to 10 patients. And the idea here is this is electromagnetic frequency, and they use this to regenerate bones or to reduce inflammation. Like so many studies have proved this. For 40 years, this has been used. But nobody
Yeah.
ever thought to use it for aesthetics.
Yeah.
So we kind of had to adapt it in a way that it wouldn't go through the bone, but just superficially. And this is the final product. This is a StimuField hat that
Amazing.
has a few layers. So the way this is different is we made it to look really friendly. There's a few layers of active technology here, and it's invisible, literally. But if I would tear this apart, you would see tiny coils that are very precise. And what that's doing is when you turn on the device, so it's basically a one button operation. Oops. There you go. Now it's
Yeah.
turning on. And I'm saying, let's start the routine. So 3, 2, 1, on. And then you wear this up. And we made it look like this so you can wear it when you're in a call, when you're walking around the house. And we didn't want it to be bulky
Yeah.
or, have a cable or anything medical. We wanted to have the best technology in the best format. A little bit like Apple, right? Like you have the best chip in the world. You're
Yeah.
packaging it and it's nice, and fits in your pocket. And the way it works is you wear it for half an hour a day and it makes your cells more active. So basically, imagine your
Gotcha.
engine in your car. It's getting
Yeah.
a little bit old. Sometimes it's not working so well. What this does
Yep.
is it kind of bootstraps it. It's kind of like pulling it a few times a second with this electromagnetic energy. And then once you do that, the engine keeps running on its own. So by using
Yeah.
it daily, what you're doing is you're kind of giving these cells this boost. So they pick up a lot more activity.
I guess this is an important question for me, if fashion person. Do you guys have multiple colors or is it just black at the moment? Or is
So
there
far, just black, but
okay.
we are gonna have more colors and a few like different designs to pick from. Yeah, it's
Okay,
coming.
gotcha. Gotcha. Amazing. No, that's a yeah, that's a amazing story. And I guess maybe you may have someone who may be struggling with hair loss at the moment who may be listening to this. Maybe if they're not, a scientist, they're not an expert at any of this stuff and they just, in a place where they are losing their hair, maybe just explain to them the process of how the hat cap not only works but the
Hmm.
time it takes for, I don't know, for them to see any type of results. I can imagine that's probably one of the biggest thing that people ask is when am I going to
Hmm.
see the results of this product take effect? So curious if you could give us an overview there.
So when I talk about hair, I like to talk about gardening. Do you like gardening?
My wife likes gardening, so I guess by chance I enjoy gardening.
So our hair is a lot like a plant in the sense that what you see is not so much the active part. You're really thinking about the roots. So when the roots are healthy, that means they're getting supplied with blood, which has all the nutrients. And what StimuField does is we act on the root of these hair follicles, right? So for that to be healthy, you need first for the plant to be alive, not dead. So for example, I can show you myself. When I started losing hair, all this area was a bit thinning, and this unfortunately balded, right? Like I actually lost this hair. So being honest, I always tell people when hair is completely lost, when it's completely bald, unfortunately you have to do a transplant. We cannot help you with that.
Yeah.
But most hair is not gone forever. Most hair is weakened a little bit. Like, uh, I mean, you have great hair, but a lot of people will
Yeah.
see it thinning here, and I had that a lot. So what I would say is, if you have early or advancing hair loss, but not very advanced, StimuField can help you a lot. Because basically, you have to think that this plant is maybe wilting, but you can
Yeah.
bring it back to life, and that's what we
Yeah.
do basically. Whenever
Gotcha.
the plant is or the hair is weakened, StimuField gives you that extra push to bring it back to full health. So women, for
Yeah.
example, have this a lot in menopause, stressful periods, maybe in fall or spring, their hair starts shedding. And when you have that, it's a perfect case for StimuField. For
Gotcha.
men, when it's kind of starting or in the middle, you can stop it, improve it, but yeah, it always needs to be
Yeah.
over hair that is starting to get weaker.
Yeah. So what and again, I don't every person is probably different. Is there a certain timeline that people see, any type of major results? Is it like a couple months, a couple weeks? Like usually what does that look like?
I wish it was instant, but the reality is hair is taking a 3 month cycle. So
Okay.
just like a plant, you plant it,
Gotcha.
it grows, it gets better. So it's 3 months. And anybody who tells you ever that they can get
Yeah.
results in less than 3 months is lying. The
Yeah.
perfect time, the first results come in 3 months because that's just how long it takes to come out very slowly.
Yeah.
So 3 months is minimum, but usually you see from 4 to 6 months the best results, and from 6 months to a year, it keeps improving typically. Now,
Gotcha.
everyone's
That's
different,
amazing.
but that's
Yeah, yeah,
generally how
yeah.
it works.
So not I was about to say not concerned. I'm curious, what did the experiment actually look like before you guys had the hat and you guys had the prototype? Like what did people used to do before? Was there ever anything that you put on your head for hair loss in the past? Or like what was the experience like before?
Sure. So when people want to get better hair, it's like when people want to get in shape. There's people are actually going to do multiple things, and we cannot stop that. What we say is, still feels great. You're probably doing something else, or you're curious
Yeah,
about something else. Those things
yeah,
likely combine. So a lot of
yeah,
people use Rogaine or minoxidil. This is a topical they use a couple times a day. This is a pharmaceutical product, so you need to check
yeah,
contraindications and so on.
yeah,
Some other people take vitamins, or they use some special shampoo. Everything has like its own incremental effect typically.
yeah.
And of course, there's more advanced options like anti-androgens or transplants, but those are much more invasive.
Gotcha. Yeah. Interesting. Another question. How do you explain to people that electromagnetic fields aren't dangerous when there's so much fear around EMF?
Yeah, that's fair. And what we do is we stay below the limits of every possible regulation. So just like a laser, you can have a very powerful laser, which is extremely dangerous. And you can have a handheld laser, which is less, or maybe even a lower power. This device is powered by a very tiny battery. And that's because we did a lot of work miniaturizing this. We've measured the field, and the field doesn't go deeper than a few millimeters. So it doesn't even
Okay.
reach, I would say, the bone, like very marginally. It's lower than what you would expect from a cell phone, even,
Yeah.
or actually Bluetooth speakers. So
Yeah.
it's in that range. And those are all consumer regulations that we need to follow. So we try to stay with a safety limit.
Gotcha. Amazing. Good detail there. So I got two final questions here. If someone's in their early and they're noticing that they're, their hair is starting to thin, what do you tell them about the timing of intervention?
I'd say as soon as possible, because the earlier you start with something like this, the more you're going to save. Like I
Yeah,
started, maybe I was 30, and there was some that I couldn't save, but you can see like this area I recovered completely. And
yeah,
I would have never thought
amazing.
that was possible. So the earlier you
Yeah,
start, the better. And some people start balding at 18. Everyone's biology is
yeah,
different.
yep.
But if you're worried about it, if you are looking at yourself in the mirror, it's it's never too early to start.
Yeah, gotcha. No, that's definitely great feedback, and yeah, definitely earlier the better. And probably looking at your like my father, he's 54, and his
Hmm.
thinning is my grandfather and my father thin at the top of the head.
Hmm.
So I try to. I mean, I'm still young, right? And I don't see as of yet, but I try to like make sure I'm looking at my genetics and saying like, hey, where do we typically get thinning at if that starts to happen?
Yeah,
And it's oh, I have a weird question. This is totally off topic,
I
but
love word questions.
so my wife got pregnant. We have a
Hmm.
15-month-old little girl.
Congratulations.
And when she got thank you. And when she got pregnant and we had my daughter, I don't know if this was a part of having a child, but I
Hmm.
did start to thin out, like, my hair in the front just a
Hmm.
little bit. I don't know if it was, like, freak timing. I don't know if it's because I had a baby. I do know that when women get pregnant, they tend to lose hair sometimes,
Hmm.
but I've never heard that the man has lost hair. So I'm curious, in your
Hmm.
scientific experience, in your background, have you ever heard of men losing hair when their wife has had a child?
It's interesting you mentioned that because there's a few different factors where it could be, right? And I'll tell you,
Yeah,
probably the main subject, like the main suspects, I would say is you're probably more stressed. Probably your sleep
yeah,
is regulated, right? Like
yeah,
when you're not sleeping so well, your whole body is affected. Like
yeah,
maybe you have less energy, and
yeah,
your hair reflects that because your hair, in a
yeah,
way, is like this signal that your body's printing. Like you're literally
yeah,
printing hair, right? And if
yeah,
you're not
yeah,
well for a few months, that signal is going to show like, oops, I was stressed here. Your nails,
yeah.
it's something you can look at. But there's another one, and maybe this is more research interesting, is maybe there's some degree of hormonal coupling that you have with your partner because you're going through the cycle
Yeah,
together and you're having a baby
yeah,
together. And as a father, you're also like experiencing changes in your maybe
yeah,
hormones. And I don't know enough about this, but it would be something
yeah,
interesting to research because women have post-birth hair loss. And I
yeah,
don't know if their partners are affected the same way.
yeah.
I'd love to know.
Well, you should definitely, yeah, look into it because I know, like, one thing that I
Yeah.
noticed, like, obviously, when my wife got pregnant, I was getting tired way easier. Like, I would sleep
Hmm.
longer, and I know that's part of the dynamics as well as having a kid.
Hmm.
Anyways, yeah, we'll love to know details there. But
Super
final
interesting.
question: what are some of your high level goals of the future of your company and organization that you're targeting?
Yeah, so we want to bring this to people. And I think we just want to mature, we want to go from that garage to something big that makes it accessible for everybody. So far, we have a few larger companies that started to place orders, and that's super exciting. But we want to make it better. We want to make more science. We want to make it easier to understand, keep running studies, make the product better, more accessible, lower prices as we get bigger. So we just want more and more people to get access to it. This is what it looks like if you ever come across it. And then like this.
Gotcha. And is there anywhere, if people are listening, they want to buy or purchase or even connect with you, what's the best way for them to do so?
So we're at StimuField, StimuField.com, and that's spelled like this: Stimu like stimulation, and field
Yeah.
like a magnetic field. So
Yeah.
StimuField.com, you can find us. And if you write us an email, we're a small team. So feel free to ask for me or like any questions, we're happy to answer.
There we go. Well, thanks, Pablo, man. This has been an exciting, very insightful episode. Tons of information here for people who are definitely either struggling with this or know someone that is struggling with this. So thank you for bringing it to our show. And I think your product is amazing. If I didn't do research or know about your company, I would have just thought you have a you have a hat on. And I think it just fits into a lot of people's wardrobe, which makes it a lot easier. So yeah, I think you guys definitely did a great job and put a lot of time and effort. And thank you for showing me how it even works and the background knowledge of how you guys went from MVP to the product that you have now.
Amazing. Yeah, I really enjoyed the conversation. And thanks also for sharing your own stories and questions. It was really interesting. Loved it. See
Yeah, thanks, man.
you soon.
Hey everyone, that's all for today's episode of Forever Young. Regen leaders share anti-aging secrets. Thanks for joining us and cover the keys to long-lasting vitality. If you're interested in checking out products from StimuSIL, then visit StimuSIL.com. That's StimuSIL.com. And don't miss our next episode. Subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and visit theharbormedia.com to explore how we can help your business grow. Stay vibrant, and we'll catch you next time.